Well, I'm on my way to my friend Micah's house. And oh my goodness, if you have ever lusted after a she shed, well, you are going to die when you see hers. It is absolutely charming. She's just right around the corner from me.
Oh,
hey, Micah.
Honey.
Somebody's watering the dogs.
He's washing
or cleaning the windows.
He's washing
I
the
mean, now that
windows.
is a good sign. How are you?
Good.
Thank you for doing this.
Oh, you're so welcome.
So,
you're so welcome.
Micah and I met at a party in the neighborhood, at a little cocktail party,
Yes.
and we became friends over books.
Yes.
You're
sharing a book sharing group.
Yes, yes, she is one of the most avid readers of all of my friends. And when she invited me into her she shed, that's kind of hard to say, she shed in the back, well, oh my gosh, I asked her if I could share it with all of you, and she very graciously said yes. So we are going to see an absolutely fabulous she shed, and you did most of the work.
Well, yes, I had a friend, carpenter, who helped me, but picking out all the things and putting it all together, it wasn't one of those things like call a contractor and just have them do it.
Well, I promise you, you are going to be green with envy after you see this. So, what do you say? Let's do it.
Let's go.
Well, lead on.
All right. So I call it my Cottage Garden Library.
Okay, is that appropriate for our channel or what?
Oh.
And look at how cute this is. So let me just ask you some basic questions about your house.
Yeah.
When was it built?
1917.
1917,
So
and you've lived here how long?
Going on 7 years.
7 years, okay. Well,
there you go.
It is just as gobsmacking the second time as it was the first time. It is just a little jewel box, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's what I had in mind, actually. It's just like, oh, I just want to make everything just perfect and just the way I like it. And I told my husband, like, I want to do this and I want to do it just the way I want to do it.
Yeah. Well, and isn't that a luxury?
Right.
Where you don't have anybody else's opinions to take into account.
Right.
But oh my gosh, this is just, okay, well, take me through it. How did this start out when you moved in?
Okay, when we came in, it was just a laminate floor, and actually the floor was literally about 3 inches slanted over there. We already had really good walls. As a matter of fact, this whole wall was literally not supported by anything, because again, all the joists were rotten, but it shows how well constructed it was,
right.
that it was still standing.
So this was a door.
This was a door, so we took it out and sanded it down and made it a nice opening.
So you tell me again about this part right here.
So we took out this whole wall and then put it in 6 inches further over, so we'd have room for the refrigerator and the sink for the kitchenette. So it's just perfect to have your little kettle and your coffee.
It's so cozy. It's so cozy.
And actually, I took this chandelier from inside the house. It was in a study that was way too big for this little bitty thing, and I swapped it out with a fan. It was in here. It was too big and heavy for this space.
Right. Stuart, when you go in here and you look at the bathroom, look at the charming little hollyhocks that are growing right outside the bathroom. And are you familiar with the expression, go visit the hollyhocks?
No.
So back in the South, at least, by the outhouses, they would always plant hollyhocks.
Really?
And so the expression was, I've got to go visit the hollyhocks.
Oh my gosh.
And that was apparently,
that.
so for you to have hollyhocks right outside your bathroom door, I think is just so charming. I thought maybe you knew that.
I didn't even, you know what, those are volunteer. I did not even plant those.
Oh, really? That is wonderful.
Yeah. They came up over that window first, and then I put them out. I tried to transplant them in the front, and then they just came back over on this side. They're crazy, those hollyhocks. I don't understand when and why they come up.
I don't think it's nature's miracle. You know, it's just nature's miracle. This is so fun.
I don't know if you like this or not, but this mirror right here and this kind of reproduction oak little chest here, I literally picked those up off my block on Big Trash Day and brought them in here and stuck them in there.
Don't you just, isn't that just so gratifying? But speaking of, you said the interior of your house, we'll have to shoot it sometime, but you said practically the entirety of all of your furniture, everything was thrifted or Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, or estate sales, yes.
Or estate sales.
Yes, hardly anything's retail. This piece right here, this was from Facebook Marketplace. It actually came from the former home of the OSU president. This leaded glass cabinet, yes. And then this big bookcase here.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's wait until we come back.
Okay.
And let's take a little break right here because I have to stop and really admire that. And then when we come back, we'll talk about the built-ins.
Okay.
Well, we have a brand new sponsor today, and I'm so excited about it. It is Biologica. So you guys, I often mention that I like to press the easy button whenever possible. And boy, is this a delicious tasting easy button, because what it is a very personalized, nutritional, yummy drink that I can take on a daily basis that gives me the nutrition, the clinically researched nutrition and vitamin panel that I really need specifically for my health, for my specific hormonal health. There's 3 different formulas that you can use. I use the one that is the postmenopausal essentials. Again, you know, it's formulated just for me, for us women. We don't have to take men's vitamins. We can take something that is very, very, I think, specific to what our own health needs are. And for me, and it lists them right here: lean muscle mass, cellular health, heart and bone health, skin radiance, that's big with me, energy metabolism, digestive support, and a healthy microbiome. And you guys know I've had digestive problems in the past, so that facet of this I think is really, really very special. And the other thing I love, again, is I love anything that is just elegant in its use, its packaging, and its execution. And this comes in this beautiful tin. It almost looks like a tea tin. And then you get these sachets, which are equally as elegant. They're easy to pack if you're traveling. So you can be consistent in taking your vitamin on a daily basis. And this, let's see, this one is black currant and elderflower. And it's got a little bit of fizzy effervescence to it that I like, which also for me keeps me hydrated. So depending on your age, and by the way, there's no added sugar to any of these beautiful little sachets. There are 3 different formulas. One is called Primary Essentials if you are in the 18 to 45 age group. One is Midlife Essentials for those of you that are 40 to 55, and mine, which is Postmenopausal Essentials for 50 plus. And if you're not sure which one you need to take, you can go to biologica.com and you can even take a quiz to make sure that you are getting the formula that's just right for you. I love something that is going to address my specific hormonal changes just immediately and directly. So you can just use the code or the link that we've got in the description box below if you two want to really share in this delicious yumminess and do something good for yourself at the same time.
So one thing I obviously love about this whole room is the wallpaper, and you can see how I have wallpapered drawers and wallpapered the back of the bookcase and wallpapered the wall. And you probably recognize the print as William Morris's Strawberry Thief. But it is kind of my guilty secret that this is my first purchase ever off of Temu, that I was always telling myself, oh, I would never buy anything off of Temu. It's, you know, so terrible. But the real thing cost $300 a roll.
Oh my goodness.
And Temu was $9.99 a roll.
And
so
I can't now, but this is a real.
But this is the real.
But
so
this
that's
is
what the
real.
real
Okay, so
William Morris looks
give everyone
like.
a point.
It looks pretty good.
No, it looks very good. This is substantially brighter, but this is fabric, and we probably are more familiar with it in its more muted tones. So did you wallpaper all of this?
I did. I completely, and you know what?
Wow.
That's not the easiest thing to do. It's definitely a 2-man job for one thing. You need 2 people to do it. And even still, it's not the easiest, but it's super gratifying and fun.
So before you had this here, you said there was an air conditioning unit that you then replaced with this unit, which yes, it does. It really works.
Yeah. So there was a old-fashioned, window unit that somebody had stuck in the wall that went into the garage. So we ripped that out and put that up there. And but you know what I've discovered too is whenever I was working out here all summer long in the 90-degree heat, painting the ceiling, wallpapering, painting all these things. Of course, we didn't have the mini split hooked up. And if you leave the window, and one of the things I had the carpenter do was open up these windows, which were all painted shut.
Oh gosh.
And I did strip and paint all of these 100-year-old windows, and that is a
bear.
major undertaking. Yes,
Oh,
with
my
all
word.
these 10 panes of glass in every single one
Oh
of them.
my gosh! But it's what makes it special. It's those little architectural features. And then was this your mirror,
That's a Facebook. That's a Facebook
Wow.
marketplace.
And what about
find.
these?
Those are from a discount warehouse place where they have leftovers from Home Depot, and you just kind of find what you find.
I need to follow you around, girl. I need to follow you around. Okay, now just because I'm curious, because I don't Facebook market very much. Would you mind telling me how much this you paid for this?
I paid $400 for that.
Wow.
And I paid $100 for the mirror.
Incredible. And this isn't just a little cheap mirror. This is
No, that's actually, I forget what the brand name is. I could look at it, but it's a brand name of a very expensive mirror.
And then and then the wallpaper. This is just brilliant. This is just brilliant. Copying, because you probably had all sorts of scraps left.
Yes,
over.
exactly.
And you just used these. Just look like some of those boxes you can get from practically.
Those are from IKEA. They are like nothing. Okay. I think they're probably $4.99.
Wow. And then that is just amazing.
I did wallpaper all these shoe boxes. You can kind of see they're kind of cute. Like they're all those.
Oh yeah,
shoe
looky
boxes.
there. When we come back, let's talk a little bit about some more of your aesthetic choices in terms of paint colors and some just different appointments that you have. Now this looks like it is a William Morris pattern too, isn't it?
It is, yeah, it's the same.
I love that.
Strawberry Thief print, except done in red. So in my house, I have it in green. I have it in red in my living room. And I have it in blue here. And then I brought these chairs out.
I'm sorry, tell me again where you got these chairs.
These
are
are
from
a local furniture consignment store. And they had different cushions on them, which I threw away. And we had these custom made.
The rattan was
right,
on there. The straw was on there.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
Okay, so who does your custom
that was somebody
pillow work?
in DC.
In DC, when you lived in DC. But look at these. You just feel they're so comfortable.
They're perfect for this
They're
space.
so comfortable. And you could have your cup of tea and just really in the morning indulge in that eastern light.
Oh, it's beautiful.
That cascades.
I can see the birds like right out my window. I think also if I don't turn on the light, I think they can't see me and I can see them. and I did get that bird bath on Facebook Marketplace as well.
Lately, it's all I hear is Facebook Market. And I guess I'm going to have to learn the skill of getting on. However, I don't really need anything. So I think sometimes I'm compelled to want to start a new project just because to see what kind of finds
It really is.
are out there.
It's the fun of the hunt.
Yeah.
It's the fun of the hunt. You know,
It's
it
the fun
feels like
of
you
the
just can rejoice.
Okay, so now what is this under here? This
It's a
is
chaise
just
lounge
a chaise lounge.
that I did get from a furniture consignment place.
Oh, and I even like that fabric. It
Well,
even goes.
Yeah, this though is a really neat blanket that I got in England, in the Cotswolds, and it was actually from the sheep at the B&B
At the location
that we
where
were
you were?
staying. So it has a special, and then this is a picture from the oh no, it's not the Cotswolds, it was the Lake District, and that's from the Lake District. So that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Those are both. That's another William Morris print. This is kind of fun. You talk about like thrifting. This needlepoint came off of 2 chairs that I got off the sidewalk in Washington, D.C. They were chewed up by dogs, and I took off the multiple layers, and underneath them, somebody had covered up that needlepoint. So I had a pillow made out of it. And then the chairs are in my house right now, and I brought them all the way from D.C. But I refinished them, and it was just when I was poor and lonely in D.C.
You just have to be creative. You just have to be creative and have a strong back or a strong friend.
These were straight back
you.
chairs. I carried them myself into my house. My little.
Okay, I'm loving this brass behind you, Stuart. That brass coat rack.
Now that's IKEA.
You're kidding.
No, so you can order that. And you know what? I bought that years ago, and I just loved it. I thought, this is so cool, and this looks so rich, and I never had a place to put it. So I've been carrying that thing around, and it's like, this is where it goes.
It's perfect.
Yeah, isn't it great?
It really is. It is simply
Now, but I feel like
perfect.
this is like the,
what brings it all
the
together?
pinnacle of the whole thing.
Okay, well, let's talk about that when we come back, because that is a whole topic in and of itself. Okay, so tell me about this built-in, because I think it's the built-in that makes the whole space. I think it's what makes it look so impressive, so rich, so detailed, so old.
Yeah.
And and kind of matches the historic and architectural integrity of your house. So tell me about the molding. Well, just give me the whole scoop.
Sure. So, you know, whenever you do your Pinterest boards or whatever, like, okay, what's your vision for the place? Kept on saying, oh, it's wall to, you know, floor bookcases. I wanted to have that feel. And that's really expensive to recreate. But what's not expensive is this bookcase off of Facebook Marketplace. And so then I just got in my truck, drove to Stillwater, picked it up. It was black. I painted it this blue color, it's kind of blue purple color.
So is the detailing on the front of it already?
Yes. So you couldn't even see it though when it was black. See, what I did is I didn't paint it completely, and I just let the black show
Yes,
through.
the recess. That's a great idea. That's a great tip. Let's put up the little. Let's put up the little light bulb. I thought you attached your own molding to just a basic, but you know, I guess you could do that. Maybe not any molding that's that distinctive, but then it's got drawers on the bottom.
Also, molding is super expensive. You know, that's what the thing is. If you get things that are already, you know, done, again, with the lights and set and the glass shelves, I could never make something this nice. But again, I got this for $400.
So was the shelving already in there too?
Yeah.
And the lighting was already. Oh my gosh!
And again, so you say built-in. It's not really built-in. It's
shoved in.
It's shoved in against the wall. I did have my carpenter again cut a hole and put an outlet in there so I could plug things in.
Yeah.
Then I got this little shelf, you know, from a different Facebook Marketplace. Kind of shaved off the edges, put it there, and then put, you know, just a. So 2x4 up there, 2x6.
So lots of ingenuity and lots of measuring.
Yes.
Lots of measuring.
And then the top is actually, the top crown molding, that's actually styrofoam. That's not even wood. So the crown molding that goes all the way around the ceiling, which really, I think, takes it up a whole notch, that is styrofoam.
And what about the verticals on those shelves?
Those are molding from like Home Depot. It tried to match this, but you can see how it's really hard to even find molding like that. But again, that molding.
No, it works fine. You would never know that it wasn't it wasn't the same.
Right. And then the ladder rail is actually from Amazon. That's a stair rail. It's just the straight part of the stair rail, and I left off the curved part. And then I bought this ladder online and put it with the chair rail, so they don't go together. Because you know these things are super expensive too. Those library ladders.
Oh yeah,
crazy.
Yeah, and I bet you could even get that's probably maybe you could get it off of IKEA or something.
Yeah, like a bunk bed ladder or something.
Yeah, that's really, really incredible. And then the way you have all of your, like I said, she's a huge reader, and the way you've got all of your books styled, some of them facing forward, especially your older books. I'm looking at some of your children's books.
Yeah, I've had those literally for like 40 years. Those are my children. You know, those are my books. And then these were all like, I'm in a book club, so these are like some of the ones we read from our book club. And then these are kind of more the devotionals. Like I have my little journal. I have a 1 line a day little journal that I love. And you know, this is what I do in the morning is I sit here and I have my little mushroom coffee and I write in my journals.
Not a bad existence. Not a bad existence. And then in the afternoon, after you've been working all day, you
come and take your nap on the shades.
You make like Colette, and you just hang it on the shades. But you could have a small dinner party in here. You could just have a table in here and pull in some, fold out chairs, and you could have an intimate little party.
Well, I've never had a dinner party in here. I have taken out these chairs and put in an air mattress and made a little guest house, temporarily for like my sister-in-law. And then my podcast recording group, there's 4 of us, and we record in here because small spaces work better for a podcast. Plus, we talk about books, so perfect.
Yeah. What's the name of your podcast, and how do people find you?
Oh, it's Stories That Change Us. So you can just go on Apple or whatever, Stories That Change Us. Yeah, it's just about.
So how many square feet do you think this is?
Oh my goodness, I don't know. I guess I could measure and tell you.
Well, it is. What would you say? 300?
12 by 15 in the back part, so yeah, not should look around that.
Yeah, about 300 square feet or something
like
yes,
that.
just depending.
Perfect little size.
Yeah, perfect little size, but it doesn't feel cramped at all. And then you just did lots of layering, pillow on pillow, rug on rug, and then I don't know that we fully appreciated the kitchen in here.
No, that kitchen took a lot of, actually that refrigerator, I got that from Best Buy. That is the one thing that I went out and like
So
purchased
cute.
it specifically for a little beverage refrigerator. And it took me,
Yeah, that is so cute. Really cute.
because I got this at a discount, the same discount place. I got the sconces, and I got this off the discount place too, this cute little faucet.
Well, you're going to have to give us the name of your discount places. And look at her blue and white up here. And it's all of the little appointments and your composition of things that is just so spectacular. And, you know, we should all have a chandelier.
I got that off of, Facebook Marketplace.
And I think it's nice to have a place where when you have a whole male house where you can indulge your femininity.
Yes, and you're asking for tips. I think one of the tips to make everything work is, to have the wallpaper all the same throughout, to have the color. This is actually called Flower Box. I think it's a Benjamin Morris Flower Box. I think
Okay.
is the
Is
blue
the blue.
purple. And so to do the doors and the trim and I painted the vanity that was in there with the sink, and just to make everything flow and not
Cohesive.
have too much change throughout, just make everything flow.
You know, this is, now that I look at this is very similar to the color that my boys' nursery was painted.
Really?
When they were little, the walls were painted this, and then I had a great big red rug in there, plush red rug
What
in
was your
there.
theme for the boys?
The boys, I had a bunch of African animal prints that were
Okay.
just graphical things, kind of Andy Warhol looking, and they were framed in red. So it was all this color and red, and we had a zebra skin rug, and it was on top of the red rug. So it was kind of fun. Now look at these things cost nothing, but they make such a difference. I mean, like your little Parisian. Whenever I go there, I want to take a bunch of their matches because
I
they're so
picked
cute.
that up because it was so cute when I
Yeah,
went there.
yeah.
Yes, it's a little French restaurant downtown.
And I love that. We're going to shoot there, I think,
Oh,
before
good.
too long with Alain. And it's just a wonderful, within walking distance.
Sure,
just
yeah.
incredible.
Oh, there's so many
But, yeah,
places within
her
walking
little
distance. Here.
cottages and
So another tip I would say is to get the right paint color. So I have a friend, she's not a designer per se, she's actually a lobbyist in DC, but she has a designer's heart, so it's like her passion. And so I sent her a copy of, or a little piece of the wallpaper, and she went and spent, an hour or two in the paint store and sent me several samples. And then when she sent them back to me, she told me, okay, flower box and this other one, I don't remember what the other one was, and the color of the ceiling and the color of the walls. And so I went and got some and painted on the walls. And I thought for sure I wanted the
A certain
other
color.
the other picture. She gave me two options. Oh, definitely this one, but I'll just check and I'll paint it and I'll get my mom's opinion. And sure enough, we're both like, no, that seems dull, and this seems more vibrant, and this one definitely. But put it on the wall and get someone to help you to pick it out to begin with. That's my advice. If you're going to get any help, it's up beyond paint color, because it's such an investment. Like, again, it took so long to strip and paint these windows.
You want to make sure you
wanna
did
make
it
sure
right.
you get the right color.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just, well, it could not be any more charming. How many hours of the day do you think you spend out here?
So I do something called the Artist's Way, which is a whole thing.
Julie Cameron?
Oh, you know it too.
Oh,
Julie.
yeah.
Yes.
So,
So-
as I said, we kind of bonded over books and things like that.
So I try to do my morning pages.
Okay.
And so I try to come out here in the morning, and morning pages, they take you longer than you think. So I'm a really early riser. So I'll come out, I was here this morning, I'm sure, by 5 a.m. because of that storm last night.
Oh gosh,
And,
yeah.
doing morning pages.
By the way, if you are in Oklahoma and you are in the El Reno area, really any area, Stuart said that a neighbor had a big tree come down on his truck. Yeah, then our hearts go out to you, because we had 80 to 100 mile an hour winds last night. I lost another umbrella. But again, if you are in the area, I'm so sorry, because it was frightening.
It was, You know, it's Oklahoma though. The wind, we are used to 100-mile-an-hour winds, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It happens.
But this was kind of unexpected.
Yeah.
I mean, it just kind of came, you know, it's one thing when you kind of know to be on the alert, but it's another thing when your phone wakes you up in the middle of the night screaming at you to go get in your basement or you know, do your due diligence. So as far as your tips, Facebook Market, thrift stores, paint color advice, and then who actually, you did the wallpapering, and then you have a carpenter,
his name is James Brown, and he kind of all around handyman, carpenter. He does amazing things. If you do something in the house, I'll have to show you the drawer he made me in my house that holds all my appliances, which is amazing.
We'll just have to come back. We'll just have to come back.
But he's great, right? And another tip I think would be to get a friend with an eye to give you that second opinion, because you really need somebody to say like, no, you're crazy, that's not going to work. And then like,
you'll get tired of that, or
right, or no, you really do need to put color on all the trim of the windows. You have to, go for it. You need that moral support to say, all right.
Yeah. And I would also say start a Pinterest board. If you have a place that is just hungering for some attention and some love, God knows I wish I had a place like that in my backyard, then start a Pinterest board. It costs nothing for inspiration to flow through you and onto a Pinterest board or a mood board, whether it's, analog or digital. You definitely can get your tear sheets and put them in a folder.
And then you can get patterns. Like I kept on, making different pictures that I put on my Pinterest board. And then I would just say like, okay, I really need a wall of floor to ceiling bookcases because that's in all the pictures. So somehow that needs to happen.
The other tip I would say, which has helped me many, many times before, is I get lots of ideas from boutique hotels. So when I go into boutique hotels and they've got some kind of wall treatment, or they've got some kind of sconce or some kind of fixture or whatever, then definitely I think in the smaller hotels, not so much your Marriotts and your convention centers, but small boutique hotels, especially the older ones, I think you can really get some good ideas. And we have gotten so many good ideas from you.
Yay.
I can't thank you enough for doing this.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I'd love to share it because it's so cute.
Well, it is just, it's very high on the cuteness index. And it's so fun for me to come back and visit it again. And I just, and I just can only daydream about sitting out here in the morning with it.
You're only walking distance. Come have a cup
maybe
of
you
tea.
need to put out the futon for me, or actually I can sleep. I'm not big. I can sleep on the chaise lounge. Yes. Thank you, darling. This is wonderful.
Okay.
Okay, this is the magic drawer.
Look at this. Look at this. You can put your crock pot, your Instant
It is the never-ending drawer.
All your extra takeout things that you don't want to throw away and you want to use again.
When you've got one of these big islands, it reminds me of that scarf that comes out of your sleeve and it just keeps coming and just keeps coming.
And it's just dead space.
It is ingenious.